My name is Emily, and at 35, I'm embracing the whirlwind of motherhood for the first time. Parenthood has been a wild mix of joy and exhaustion, but I've been fortunate to have my circle of incredible friends on my side. We've known each other since we were 13, growing up together through all of life's pivotal moments. Now, four of us are navigating the challenges and blessings of motherhood, while Sarah, our fifth, has taken a slightly different path. Though she doesn't have children of her own yet, she works at a daycare, honing her skills and knowledge about childcare. Our group has always been close. Jenna, the life of the party, is quick with a joke to lighten any mood. Mia is the thoughtful one, offering advice and a steady presence whenever needed. Then there's Liz, who somehow manages to juggle her career and family life with a grace that leaves us all in awe. Sarah's love for children shines through in everything she does, but sometimes her desire to prove her expertise can come off a bit too strong. On a bright Saturday afternoon, we all gathered at my house. It was meant to be a casual meet-up, just time to relax, catch up, and let the kids play. The living room buzzed with chatter and bursts of laughter as toys lay scattered about. My 5-week-old son napped peacefully in his rocker, oblivious to the lively scene around him. As the afternoon unfolded, the conversation naturally turned toward motherhood, parenting styles, tricks, and lessons learned. Sarah became particularly animated, eager to share insights from her daycare experience. "It's all about reading the baby's needs before they even start crying," she said, demonstrating a soothing rocking motion she swore by. Jenna, balancing her toddler on her hip, gave a playful nod. "Sounds like magic, Sarah. You'll have to show me that trick the next time Logan starts his evening fuss." Mia's soft voice chimed in. "It's great we can all share what works. Makes the journey a little easier, don't you think?" We all nodded in agreement, including Liz, who was carefully arranging a snack tray in the kitchen. As the sunlight dipped lower, casting a warm glow through the windows, our talk drifted from parenting to personal growth and the challenges we'd all face together. Moments like these always reminded me how unbreakable our bond felt. But just as the conversation flowed, my son's soft whimper broke through the hum of the room, signaling he was awake and hungry. Sarah immediately volunteered, "Let me take him, Emily. A change of scenery might do him good." Grateful for a brief break, I handed him over, watching as Sarah expertly bounced him on her hip. But it didn't take long for his fussing to turn into full-on crying. I knew that cry. It meant he was hungry. I stood up, ready to take him back. "Thanks, Sarah, but he needs to be fed," I said, reaching for him. To my surprise, Sarah sidestepped, a determined look flashing in her eyes. "He's just a bit cranky." "I've got this, Emily," she insisted. Jenna and Mia exchanged uneasy glances, sensing the tension in the air. I tried again, my voice firmer this time. "Please, Sarah, he's hungry. I need to feed him." But Sarah didn't budge. Instead, she cradled him closer, as if trying to prove a point. My anxiety spiked. This wasn't like Sarah. She'd never ignored my wishes, especially not when it came to my son. "Sarah," I said more forcefully, "give him to me." The room fell silent. Liz, frozen by the snack table, looked on with concern. Still, Sarah refused to hand him over, her voice rising slightly. "I work with babies all the time, Emily. I know what I'm doing. Just give me a minute." Frustration boiled over. "He doesn't need a minute, Sarah. He needs to eat now," I asserted, stepping closer. The air thickened with tension as Sarah tightened her hold, her back now turned to me. Her defiance caught me off guard, but my maternal instincts kicked in. Without hesitation, I stepped forward and firmly took my son from her arms. A soft gasp escaped Jenna as the suddenness of the move hung in the air. Cradling my crying son, I felt him relax instantly as he nestled into me. Turning to Sarah, I held her gaze, my voice steady and resolute. "You overstepped, Sarah. That was not okay. Never keep a child from their parent." A flush of embarrassment colored Sarah's face, though her defiance lingered. "I was just trying to help," she muttered, but Sarah's usual confidence wavered under the stern looks from Jenna, Mia, and Liz. Liz stepped forward, her voice calm but firm. "We all see that you want to help, Sarah, but Emily knows her son best. We need to respect that." As I soothed my son and began to nurse him, the room settled into an uneasy silence. The warmth of the afternoon had fractured, leaving behind a chill of unresolved tension. Sarah's buoyant demeanor faded, weighed down by the collective disapproval. She whispered an apology, though it was unclear who it was directed to, and quietly withdrew to a corner of the room. Her isolation felt stark against the unity the rest of us shared in that uncomfortable moment. In the days that followed, the dust never truly settled. I replayed the incident over and over in my mind, Sarah's defensive words clashing with my lingering frustration. Determined not to let this rift widen, I reached out to her, hoping for a calm conversation to mend what had been broken. But my attempts at reconciliation were met with evasion. Sarah avoided direct contact, and when we finally did speak, it became clear she was still on the defensive. "I was only trying to help Emily. You're all acting like I did something terrible," she said, her tone a mix of hurt and accusation. "I know you were trying to help, Sarah," I replied, struggling to keep my voice even as frustration simmered beneath the surface. "But you have to understand, a mother knows her child. You should have handed him over when I asked." "You don't get it," Sarah interrupted, her voice rising with frustration. "I handle babies all the time at work. I know what I'm doing." The conversation spiraled, every attempt at a calm exchange crumbling under the weight of our mutual stubbornness. "Sarah, you didn't respect my role as his mother. That's what hurt me the most," I said, my voice thick with emotion. Instead of acknowledging the impact of her actions, Sarah fired back, "You're just ungrateful. I was helping, and this is the thanks I get." Her words stung, and I could feel the old bonds of friendship fray with each verbal jab. The tension between us escalated until I couldn't hold back anymore. "I can't have you around my son if you can't respect my wishes, Sarah," I declared, the finality of my words echoing the resolve in my heart. Sarah's face registered shock, then hardened into a mask of defiance. "Fine. If that's how you feel, maybe it's better if I stay away," she retorted, her voice cold. With that, she turned and walked away, leaving me standing in the wreckage of our once close friendship. The next few weeks blurred by, marked by strained group chats and awkward silences. Sarah began to distance herself not just from me, but from Jenna, Mia, and Liz as well. She built a wall around herself, and each of our attempts to reach out only seemed to reinforce it. As time dragged on, the rift between Sarah and the rest of us deepened, playing out most publicly and painfully on social media. One morning, as I scrolled through my feed, my heart sank. Sarah had started posting thinly veiled jabs at us. One post read, "Funny how some people think they know everything just because they're parents. The implication clear to all of us who knew the backstory." Each post added a layer of discomfort and dismay within our group. One afternoon, Jenna called me, her voice tight with frustration. "Have you seen Sarah's latest posts? It's getting out of hand, Emily. It feels like we're being publicly shamed just for protecting our kids." Mia and Liz echoed similar sentiments in our group chat. The situation was spiraling, pulling us into a public spectacle we never wanted. After much discussion, we came to a difficult decision. We agreed to block Sarah, not out of spite. We didn't block Sarah out of spite, but to shield ourselves from the ongoing negativity that had taken over her online persona. The decision to cut ties on social media wasn't easy. "It feels like we're officially closing the door on her," Liz lamented one evening. "But what choice do we have? She's not just crossing lines, she's obliterating them." "It's about more than just our feelings," Mia added. "We can't preach respect and boundaries to our kids and then let Sarah trample over ours." As the reality of our decision sank in, a sense of isolation crept into our group. Without Sarah, there was a palpable gap in our gatherings, her absence a constant reminder of what had happened. Yet that same isolation also brought us closer, forging a stronger bond. The ordeal had been harsh, but it clarified our values as friends and as parents. Our unity grew from shared pain, and with it, a deeper commitment to each other. Still, the fallout wasn't without internal struggles. There were nights I lay awake, questioning whether I could have handled things differently. Could I have been more understanding, less reactive? But every time, I returned to the same truth. The well-being of my child and the integrity of our boundaries as parents had to come first. Even though we had cut ties online, echoes of Sarah's actions lingered. Mutual friends occasionally mentioned her posts, each one a fresh sting. Over time, though, the posts lost their sting and the mentions grew less frequent. Slowly, life began to find a new rhythm. Our tight-knit quartet found solace in our renewed understanding and respect for one another. The ordeal had taught us a painful but vital lesson about the limits of friendship and the non-negotiable role of protecting our children. Several months later, fate intervened with a confrontation we hadn't anticipated. It was a crisp autumn day, and the local community center was hosting its annual fall festival. The event was alive with the sounds of families and laughter. By some twist of fate, our paths crossed with Sarah. As I walked through the crowd with Jenna, Mia, and Liz, our chatter halted when we spotted her standing alone near a craft booth. Time seemed to slow as we approached, the weight of the past heavy between us. Sarah looked different, more subdued, less assured than the friend we remembered. Her eyes met mine, and for a fleeting moment, I saw the glimmer of the old Sarah, the one who laughed with us and shared secrets over coffee. "Emily," Sarah started, her voice hesitant. I've missed you all." Her words lingered in the air, thick with unspoken emotions. Jenna gave my hand a gentle squeeze, a silent show of support. I took a deep breath and addressed the unspoken tension between us. "We've missed what we used to have too, Sarah. But you crossed a line that really hurt." The others nodded, their expressions filled with sadness, but also resolve. Mia stepped forward, her tone kind but firm. "You were our friend, Sarah. But friendship has boundaries. When Emily needed you to respect her as a mother, you didn't." Sarah's eyes welled with tears, her shoulders sagging under the weight of her actions. "I thought I was helping," she whispered. "I didn't realize, I just didn't see it. I'm sorry, truly." Liz, always the peacemaker, softened slightly but held her ground. "We appreciate your apology, Sarah, we really do. But things have changed. We had to protect our kids and our peace." There was a long, poignant pause, a moment of painful clarity as Sarah absorbed the finality of the situation. "I hope you can all forgive me someday, even if things can't go back to how they were." Her words hung in the air, heavy with remorse and a flicker of hope. But we all knew the damage was too deep to overlook. As we parted ways, the festival's lively atmosphere resumed around us, a stark contrast to the quiet sadness we carried. Sarah walked away, a solitary figure in a crowd, beginning her own journey of reflection and growth. Back together, Jenna, Mia, Liz, and I shared a moment of silent solidarity. Our bond, though tested, had endured. We have faced a difficult chapter, but through it we learned a powerful lesson about mutual respect and the protective instincts that come with motherhood. What would you have done if you were in Emily's shoes? Would you have tried to mend the friendship, or would you have protected your peace like she did? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed the story. Subscribe to our channel for more content like this. Your support helps us continue bringing these stories to life.